Hi, hi, hello, hello. It's time for no more content that no one asked for and perhaps no one wants, but I want to make, and therefore we're getting it made. I saw that Pitchfork put out their lists for the best of the 2010s. Um, I guess they just have all of the different years listed here as well, but of course the ones that we're most interested are the top 200 best songs of the 2010s and the top 200 best albums of the 2010s. To me, this seems incredibly premature. Like, look at this. Just today, they gave an 8.8 to this album. Clearly, they love it. But is this going to appear on the list? Almost certainly not. And we've got another, like, 2 months of music, 2 2/3 basically, to get through before the decade's actually over. What if Jesus is King comes out and it's like an absolute 10 out of 10 masterpiece? They're going to feel pretty silly, won't they? But at any rate, if you're not too familiar with Pitchfork, they're a music publication that's been around since the late 90s. They've been through a few eras, all of them quite influential. At first, they were like the hipster publication. I'd say they contributed more to the image of what a hipster is than any other entity. And they promoted mostly indie rock. They're responsible, I think, in a large part for indie rock kind of exploding into popular culture. Um, and they did a lot of kind of crate digging. They did a lot of talking about really obscure old records and stuff. Nowadays, around 2010 actually, Pitchfork has shifted into what a lot of people refer to as poptimism, where they became a lot less critical of pop music, a lot less kind of superior to it, and started really kind of embracing it and embracing sort of the cultural moments that they represent and trying to judge them more on their own merits than some sort of preconceived notion of good music. So I've been quite invested in them in kind of both these eras. I think they were quite convincing to me in a lot of their appreciation of pop music. Pitchfork has generally a pretty bad rap among a lot of people. You know, they're mocked for their really sort of pretentious, over the top reviews where they make all sorts of crazy analogies. And again, I think a lot of people's understanding of them as this sort of quote unquote hipster publication, even though no one uses that word at all, still carries forward into how people think of it today, even though it's really not at all accurate. Yeah, I don't know, but I've always liked them. I think more often than not, I can agree with their opinions or at least kind of understand where they're coming from. And they've introduced me to just so much good music, so much music that I really, really love and cherish. Introduced me either because they themselves recommended it or just that they were talking about it and made it seem interesting. Like even albums that they don't like so much, they'll do a good job making it clear how someone could like them. Anyways, so yeah, I like Pitchfork overall. For a while, I was very good at guessing scores that I just kind of knew how they thought, and when new albums came out before I even listened to them, I just kind of was able to know what kind of direction they'd want to go in it. I don't know if I can do that anymore. So the most modern era of Pitchfork, I think they've sort of declined in influence a little bit. It seems like people care now more about like Anthony Fantano than Pitchfork or other music reviews and such. But I don't know. Still do good stuff. I like these Sunday reviews. They just kind of pick a famous album and really go in depth about it. Anyways, I think my favorite thing about them are their lists, especially their kind of decade-long lists. I'm very, very curious about what this is going to be like. My big questions are they going to snub Kanye? Because Kanye has the two highest scoring albums of the decade. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, they gave it 10. And Yeezus, I'm wearing my Yeezus shirt right now actually, they gave like a 9.7, I think, or maybe 9.6. But lately, of course, Kanye's politics have made him quite a derided figure among Pitchfork staff and typical Pitchfork readers. They were pretty harsh to his latest musical projects outside of Daytona. I think they like the Pusha T album Daytona. Um, so I don't know, like, is are these albums still going to be ranked high? I'm also curious where they put the Lana Del Rey album. So lately, Pitchfork's been very conservative with their scores, but a few weeks ago they gave Where is it? I guess it was more than a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was like over a month ago. They gave this a 9.4. This is the highest score they've given in about 5 years. So they really, really like this one. I could see this being like top 5 or something. I think other top 5 ones will be Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. They only gave that a 9.3 at the time, but they gave it Album of the Year, and they gave All Right off of it Song of the Year. Other ones I'm quite curious about. Where will Joanna Newsom's Have One on Me land on this list? I think that's my favorite album that is conceivably on this list, like things that I like more Pitchfork hasn't heard of. So I'm very curious about that. Because I'd like to think that this is an album that really grows with you, one that they've grown to appreciate more and more, but it could also be that they've grown to like forget it. Solange's A Seat at the Table, I think, will be very far up there, which I'm totally all for. I'm curious to see if Kendrick Lamar's Damn will also make the top 10. I'm going to guess that To Pimp a Butterfly is number 1. Also, Good Kid, Mad City will probably be top 10. Channel Orange, I'm guessing, will be top 20, somewhere around there. What else? What else? What else am I thinking? I'm curious to see what they do with Run the Jewels 2, which they actually gave Album of the Year to one year. See if they still like it so much. The Life of Pablo, I'd really like to see where that ends up. Yeah, let's just dive into it. I don't know. We'll just take it as we see it. Records that made the decade, starring Kendrick Lamar, of course. Grimes. Oh yeah, they really did like that one Grimes album. The one before Art Angels. I can't think of what it's called. It's got the big skull on the cover. Bon Iver. It's kind of oh, there's Have One on Me! Yay! They didn't forget. They didn't forget. Oh, Vampy Wiki. Yeah, Vampires of the City. I think they gave this Album of the Year over Yeezus, even though Yeezus was rated much higher. I'm surprised this is here. I didn't think they liked that too much. Bon Iver, they did quite like 22 a Million, and I think they gave it quite a high score to I as well. Oh, and actually, yeah, like Forever, for Emma, Forever Ago, and Bon Iver, I guess also came out this decade. I just kind of forgot about them. Because it feels like his new music is like the modern ones, and those must have come out in like the 2000s, I guess. Solange, of course, Lana Del Rey. Well, we'll see. Oh yeah, Frank Ocean's Blonde, I'm sure will be up there too. Okay, let's just get into it. I think this graphic is pretty cool. You know, foam core, good representation of the decade. There's Yeezus. And there's To Pimp a Butterfly, swapping back and forth. What does it mean? In the 2010s, as playlists swelled with unrelated tracks and algorithms shot listeners off in all directions, the full-length release started to feel on the verge of becoming an antique. True. But great artists will always want to create works that expand their visions. In this decade, they found new ways to push the LP forward. They pioneered the visual album. So that's a nod to Beyonce, I'm sure, primarily. Although other artists have done visual albums, the Beyonce ones Pitchfork has praised. To the Heavens and Back. Perfected the surprise drop. Also Beyonce, and stretched running times as long as they pleased. Also Beyonce? Well, no. Lemonade was like over an hour. I'm not sure who this refers to specifically. Joanna Newsom, Have One on Me, 3 discs. No longer beholden to physical media. So the forum endures, and at the end of a turbulent decade, it is thriving. Here are our top 200 albums of the decade. So I'm doing this one, even though it, to me, is much more exciting than the songs one. Because the songs one, I think, will kind of spoil unnecessarily what the decade one might be like, but we'll do that one after. Let's check out this, I guess. 6 months. Why not wait until the end of the year? I don't know, I just don't get it. Existential decision about whether a late 2009 release could be included due to the weight of its impact landing in 2010. Ooh, now that opens the door for a lot of things. Like Animal Collective's Merryweather Post Pavilion, one of their most beloved albums of that genre. But I feel like they already put that on the previous list. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. Because it came out like Christmas 2009, I'm pretty sure. Right? Wait. When did this come out? January 2009. Oh, it came out Christmas 2008. I remember it leaked on Christmas. And it was Christmas 2008. And the official release was January 2009, so probably won't end up on this list. Okay. It was a massive task. Hell yeah. Something comes out that deserves a spot on this list before the year is out. We'll add it unranked. Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Let's check it out. Ooh, Rat King. I've heard this is pretty cool. I really, really like this album cover. This album cover has stuck with me. The painstakingly detailed map of New York City. I haven't listened to this though. I should check it out. Totally had forgotten about it really, but this album cover is so evocative. Woo Lif, go tell fire to the mountain. Ooh, what the heck? I've never even heard of this. I wish they would tell you the year it... Oh. Okay, they do. I have not heard of this. Hold on. So they're really good about this, that the lists do not necessarily just reflect the scores, and they'll even put stuff that they didn't rate originally on lists like this. Woo Lifer for the children. That's a joke about when ODB ran up on stage and shouted, Wu-Tang is for the children! Wu-Tang is for the children! Alright, I'll check this out. I'm just going to open tabs with the bands that I'm curious about. Yeah, I remember bands like this. This sounds interesting. Okay. Jean Grey, Cal Chris, Everything's Fine. I listened to this. I think it's quite good. There's one Jean Grey focus track near the start that I really liked. That my friend showed me. It's quite intense. The album cover is fantastic too. Fatma Al, don't know how to pronounce that. Kidiri, yeah, whatever. I've listened to a bit of their work. It's pretty exciting, pretty like all over the place stuff. I don't know if I've heard this one. This is maybe like the masterpiece that I should check out. Maybe I'll do these. Okay. Yeah, Juke, dubstep, digital tropicala. Sounds good. Youth as a gamer. Rise up. Portal. I have no idea what this is. Oh, death metal. Not too interesting to me, but could be good. Yeah, sure. Seems fun. Downtown Boys Full Communism. What the heck? I have never heard of this. Sure. True punk fury and the occasional stellar use of saxophones. Oh yeah, I'm in. I am so in. Yeah, I don't remember this one at all. Oh, Titus the Monitor, sure. I never really liked this band too much. I don't know why. It never really clicked with me. It seems solid enough, but not like that exciting. Lil Peep, of course, life cut very tragically short. Died at a very, very young age. Just when his music was really starting to flourish, and he was really starting to carve this niche of really emo rap. I used to want to kill myself, came up, still want to kill myself. Yeah, he's a pretty interesting person. I don't know. Not for everybody, of course. Kalela. Yes, this is very good. I should listen to this again. I kind of forgot about it. Sure. Kate Bush. Whoa. I mean, I guess I knew that Kate Bush was still making music. It's just like everyone always just talks about her old albums, right? The Hounds of Love and stuff. So it's kind of like a little surreal to see new Kate Bush stuff. But I guess they liked it. And I have every reason to think it would still be good. I mean, she's a really good musician. Only studio album of the decade. Oh, okay. Yeah, this isn't true. It's the myth that the Inuit have such a vocabulary. Alright, sure. Yeah. Ooh, a friend of mine said he was quite into this album. I think I listened to it once, and it was like while I was reading something quite intense, so I don't really remember all too much about it. But I feel like I have every reason to like something like this. It's right up my alley in terms of the type of music it is. Look at this. Ooh, ooh, oh, oh man, I don't know. I love the way that Pitchfork writers write about music. It's so evocative. Even if people think the poeticness is pretentious or whatever, I think it means something. Is it all on one page? Oh, they're crazy for this. Okay. I have not listened to this. Country Superstar. All right, well, that makes sense that I have no idea what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. If she has like a voice that really catches me for whatever reason, I could see myself liking this, but I'd be surprised. Ooh, Daytona. Okay. So modern Kanye has a slight bit of tangential approval from this, of course, because he produced this whole thing. Yeah. I thought this album was great. I hope they put My Name Is My Name even higher, though. I think My Name Is My Name is definitely better. But I don't know if that's a common opinion or not. Ice Age, this is like a big, noisy metal band, I think. I've never listened to them, but I guess I can see the appeal. I think they also... No, that's another band. I'm thinking of a band that had an album called Frozen Niagara Falls. I think it was what it was called. Which I think is a different band. And I think I just mixed it up because like Ice, Frozen, or whatever. Sure. Ooh, Mono no Aware. What? How, what? How do they even know about this album? Okay, I'm actually pretty impressed. This is an ambient album that I think is pretty cool. It's like a collection. Use Tomorrow was on it, which I guess Pitchfork really likes, so I guess that's how they found out about it. I'm pretty sure they didn't review this, though. Did they? Oh, they did! What? I don't remember this. What? I didn't even know they knew about this. Alright, well, that's cool. I don't know what this is at all. What? Oh, Awesome Tapes from Africa. I've heard of these guys though. This project is just awesome. It used to just be an MP3 blog that they would post rips of obscure awesome tapes from Africa, basically. And then they started actually becoming official, that they would contact these artists and negotiate distributions and stuff, and then they would actually reissue these things such that people around the world could buy them. It's such a great little project, and a lot of really cool music has spread so far because of it. I haven't listened to this one, though, so we'll make a note of that. That's awesome. Soccer Mommy, I've heard of her. This came out around the same time as Snail Mail. Snail Mail's Pristine. And I just listened to that a whole bunch. And I kind of felt like, oh, this is just like more. Like, I don't know why. They in my mind, they seemed like kind of the same album. And it's like I kind of made my choice. So I don't know why I didn't listen to this too. I really like that Pristine album though. Oh, yes! Yes! Oh, yes! I'm so happy this is here! Oh, good for her. I love Elisa Crampton so much. I think her music is so cool. She's so creative. Like, the way that she can pull these insane syntheses of sound, the things she chooses to sample, like, her creative vision is just, like, unfathomable. Like, how does she come up with stuff like this? I think this is maybe her best release. I think there's some individual tracks she's made that have surpassed this in totality, but it's like so complete and cohesive as a release that this is the one that I think I would recommend to people. Oh, oh, I'm so happy this is here. This is such a good album. Yeah, everybody should check this out. You should listen to all of her music, but this I think is a great starting point. This is the first thing I heard from her, and it's because of Pitchfork. It's because they gave it a really good review when it came out. So you see, it's a full circle, I guess. I don't know. Crunk Trap. I don't know what this is. Spoken word, crickets, and blurring radio station identifications. It's perfect. Gloss. Trans Day of Revenge. Oh, yeah. Instead of Trans Day of Remembrance, Trans Day of Revenge. Interesting. I have not listened to this. I don't even know if I've heard of this band. I don't know what kind of music it is, but I like the album cover. I like the title. When peace is just another word for death, it's our turn to give violence a chance. Sure. Yeah, I'm in. Oh, Jamelia Woods. I haven't really listened to her very much. I don't. This must have just come out. Wow, it must have just come out this year. Where the heck did I get that idea from? Yeah, this sounds good. Should check it out. Comes grounding and emotional truth make them accessible and immediate. Yeah, that to me is like very important for any sort of, I don't know, churches or churches. I've never really been into that much. It's kind of, yeah, chill waves, sort of. I don't know. I don't know. I've just never been into them. I don't know why. Ooh, this is a sweet album. I was in a record store a few weeks ago and they started playing this album, and it took me a little bit to remember what it was because it starts with like a long instrumental section. I was like, oh my god, I can remember like really liking this. I can remember listening to this all the time. What the heck is it? And then suddenly it like clicked, and like all of these memories of the rest of the album started rushing back. This is a fantastic album. I think I underestimate this album whenever I'm not listening to it because it's like very hard to keep in your mind what makes it sound so fantastic. And then as soon as you hear any of it and you kind of like can internalize that quality again, this kind of really mystical, I don't know how to describe it. It's so crazy. It's so good. And then you remember, oh wait, this album's actually amazing. Oh, I've heard this is really good. Pitchfork really was all about this when it came out. I was trying to sneeze for a second. I always thought the album cover was really good. Like their facial expressions, I think, are just so perfectly intense for something like this. I don't think I've ever actually listening to them. Ever listened to them. They do like post punk stuff. Yeah, sounds interesting. All right, I should clarinet solo. Yeah, all right. We gotta make sure to actually listen to this. 6 years too late, but whatever. Margot Price, All American Made. Margot Price. What do I know her from? I don't know. Maybe the name just sounds familiar. I don't think I've ever listened to any of her music. There's quite a good country representation on this list. I'm surprised. I'm gonna thank Lil Nas X for that. Pitchfork getting back into country. um, Jack White's Third Man Records. That's so weird. I was just reading about this record label because I found out that they released some Boris albums, which really surprised me. Boris is like a Japanese noise rock band. And then that's not what I think of Jack White. Gil Scott Heron's I'm New Here. This is an album that I would have guessed is much older than it actually is. One that I think has kind of fitted its way into canon. Yeah, a pretty amazing person. Mm. 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 Good album. Jessie Ware, Devotion. Hmm. I don't know this person either. Yeah, okay. I don't know. People also search for Sampha and KDB. All right, we're in. I love Sampha. I love KDB. Wait, I'm thinking of the right KDB, right? Yeah. Okay. On a mission. Yeah. Sharon Von Etten, we are here. Hmm. Wow, this sounds really cool. She claws the walls off every word. Ooh. Yeah, all right. Sounds great. Hooray for the riffraff, small town heroes. Unless this album cover is like deeply ironic, I don't think there's anything here for me. New Orleans R&B, rural blues, and Appalachian stomps, and new forms of root music. Okay. Alright, well, I don't know. I'm sure. Ooh, Popcan. I like Popcan. He's a kind of dance hall type guy. I first found out about him because he was on that track, that Jamie XX track with Young Thug. I thought he had a really cool voice. Yeah. I don't know if I've listened to this actually though, this album. I've just listened to some singles and stuff from his whole career. Cool. Yeah. JPEG Mafia. Wow. Nice. Good for him. Wow. Wow. This guy is on the come up for sure. But I thought it was still kind of just on the periphery of something like Pitchfork. Like I thought it was still too underground for Pitchfork. I guess they probably reviewed his stuff before, and maybe I'm just not aware. I'm not the devoted Pitchfork reader I used to be. I check it occasionally. Okay, they did review it. Back then, 7.7. But now, after a year or so of contemplation, 171 best album of the decade. Album cover is really cool too, I think. Like the burn here, the mouse cursor here. I haven't listened to JPEG Mafia enough. I have a friend who's really into him and is often recommending him, but I don't know, gotta get more into it. Ooh, I've wanted to listen to this. Um, I think, yeah, look at this. An attempt to meld furious drum patterns with gorgeous ambient passages a la Aphex Twin. Like, I don't know why I haven't listened to this yet. I think this seems like it could end up being one of my favorite albums or something. Yeah. Gritty breakbeats smeared with foggy synths that hover like a beautiful toxic rain cloud. Oh, that sounds lovely. This is like the thing I love Aphex Twin most for. I've been listening to I Care Because You Do. Because I think that has like the most balance between these two aspects of Aphex Twin. The fast drums and the synths. Paramore, wow. I really know nothing about Paramore. But I guess they really like those albums. That's cool. Good for them. Because, yeah, I just think of them as like pop punk. But now it's emo for adults. But it's not emo. Emo for adults is like American football or whatever. I don't know. Juliana Barwick, The Magic Place. Singer and ambient composer, Juliana Barwick. Whoa. Hmm. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, I'll check this out. Probably I'm gonna find that I already have like half these albums. That I had downloaded them when they were first reviewed, and then oh, that's on Asthmatic Kitty. I like that album, that record label. Um, yeah, but this will at least like remind me to listen to them again. Like, what the heck is this? Sandy Alex G. That sounds kind of familiar. Hmm. Elliott Smith as Poppyist. Pitch shift baby voice or sharp blast of dissonance. Okay. You're getting me there. Addictive while still being idiosyncratic. Yeah, alright, alright. Ooh, the decade's most singular voices were probably still holed up in their bedrooms waiting to be heard. I like it, I like it. The name sounds quite familiar. I feel like maybe I read the review of this album when it came out. The album cover looks kind of familiar too. Nicki Minaj, The Pink Print, a classic. I guess the one that came out before this. I don't remember what it was called. What? I don't remember what it was called. Pink Friday? Pink Friday, yes. Oh, okay. Whew. It was like almost there. Did this come out in 2010? Maybe this would be even higher up, because I think this is a lot better than the Pink Print. It's got Roman's Revenge. It's got... Wait, doesn't it have Super Bass? Am I crazy? What? Yeah, it has... It's a single. Or is it only on Roman Reloaded? But I thought that was like a completely different album. What? I'm so confused. I think I kind of blend these albums in my head. I think this one's really good too. I don't know. Okay. What was on the Pink Print? Starships? Wait. Oh, no. Starships, they're saying, was on the previous one. Hmm. Yeah, alright. Creative high point in Nicki's decade. So I guess they're saying no Pink Friday on this list. J-Som, everybody. Yo, I'm so happy. Wait, okay, hold on. We gotta talk about J-Som first. But I'm so happy. Like, I'm genuinely happy when I see things like this. Not because I need my taste to be validated by Pitchfork, but because artists appearing on this list is like a big boost, I'm sure, to their sales and to the possibilities they have coming forward. It's gonna just spread the message of their music to like a whole huge group of people. So I'm just like, I'm really happy when I see artists I like and albums I like appear on this list. It's not that I'm like, I'm right. Well, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of that, but it's like, good for them. Anyways, this sounds kind of interesting. Trumpets. Coffee house strums to gleaming trumpets. That sounds cool. Play to slide hoe in near funk territory. Yeah, this sounds nice. I hadn't heard about this at all. Okay, this band I love, and this album I just love, I love. And I don't think they were like super into it when it came out. I thought. Yeah, it didn't get B&M. Got 7.9 though. And I don't think it was on the best albums of 2018. Or wait, when did it come out? 2015. I don't think it was on the Overlooks records and the honorable mentions. It didn't make the official list. I remember that because that bugged me at the time. But here it is on the top of the decade. Woo! Hell yeah! This is such a good album. Oh my gosh, this song is so good. Horseshoe crabs. It's so intense. Okay, fantastic. Ooh, Dream Chasers 2. I've really come around on Meek Mill. At first, the first times I was like really aware of him were when I listened to a lot of Cool AD, and he would have like a lot of like very kind of ironic lyrics about I think I'm Meek Mill, implying like this is kind of like a weird boast because Meek Mill, as my friend described him, was like the least popular rapper. And then there's the whole Drake controversy, which I wasn't really that interested in, but it kind of seemed like Meek Mill was getting washed. But lately, I've actually started listening to a lot more of his music via hearing some really good guest features from him. It's like he's a really good rapper. He's like very inspiring. So yeah, I guess this is probably the one I should listen to. Like I've just been listening to singles, so I'll make a note of it. But I should go out of my way to listen to this complete album. Yeah. Sturgill Simpson. I've definitely heard of this person before. Why? Where did I hear about this person? I don't know. I guess he just has a name. Oh, Margot Price. These two people that sound familiar popping up together. What does it mean? Maybe it means that people are reading this list and that it's going to be the same searches. Okay, Cosmic Country. Oh, that sounds alright. And I like this title a lot. Meta modern sounds in country music. Well, I don't know. I don't think I would like it though. 1990, the 1975. I've never really liked this band so much. I remember Pitchfork gave "Love It If We Made It" #1 song the year it came out, which I guess was 2016. And I was kind of into that song. I like got it. I thought it was pretty cool. I remember like writing a lot about it and trying to figure out like how it kind of worked. But like I don't know, none of the other songs I've heard by them really seemed that interesting to me. I just don't get it. And this album title is truncated here. It's really long and stupid IMO. It's like I like it when you sleep because you look so beautiful and yet you don't recognize it or something. I like it when you sleep, for you are so beautiful yet so unaware of it. What is that? That sounds creepy. I don't know. Ooh, No Name! Ooh, sweet. Oh, that's cool. She's great. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. This album's great. Lots of fun stuff. I wonder if Tierra Whack will make this list too. I kind of think of them together, which is maybe unfair. It's not like their music is actually all that similar. It's just that I found out about them around the same time. um, yeah, this is cool. Pallbearer. Ooh, doom metal. Earlier, I saw death metal and I was like, eh. But doom metal. Ooh, now we're talking. Ooh, I wonder where they'll put Swans to be kind. That one I'm really curious about. Or the Death Heaven albums, which are some of the most polarizing metal albums around. They really liked them at the time, the Heaven albums, Sunbather and the other one. I don't know. Anyways, I think I've heard of this band before. Yeah, I don't know. Hmm, it sounds interesting. We'll check it out. Hey, I like this album. Uh, I like Real, like a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I mean, I can listen to that today and still shout along with every single lyric. There are other more noisy songs on this album I think are great. It's so much fun. Um, it's like he took it home and he sampled it after. Yeah, this is cool. Doesn't that sound great? It has negative chill. Yeah, that's for sure. I wonder though if they're gonna put any Go Team albums on this list. Because I think sleigh bells are great, and I like the abrasiveness, but I still feel like they're just kind of a subset outside of the abrasive parts. I think the non-abrasive parts that people praise them for are like a subset of what I like about the Go Team. But I feel like it's the contrast of the abrasive parts and the subject matter and stuff that people really like. So I guess that's fine. And maybe they're sort of, I don't know, put off somehow by just sincerely engaging with those topics. I don't know. More 1975. They like this one better, really. I thought people loved this one. I thought this was like the one. This one I've heard probably all of it because I think I listened to it all the way through. This one I have not listened to at all because I just assumed I wouldn't like it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I wonder where they'll put Father John Misty. Man, I have no idea. I'm so excited for the rest of this list. Jenny Lewis, I've heard is quite good. I have not listened to her. Hmm. Jenny Lewis. She sounds so familiar. I must know something about her. Or maybe I'm just thinking Jerry Lewis. Who else do people search for? I don't know any of these people. This person's image is... What? 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 What have I stumbled into? Okay, no more Jenny Lewis. I don't know. I don't know if this sounds like something I'd like or not. Sunny 80s new wave and 70s rock. Hmm. Oh, really? Oh, good. This album I think is so influential. It's like very short, but like every track does something very specific very well. And like every one of those things has gone on to just be a fixture in this genre. I still listen to this quite a bit. The first few tracks, just the transitions into them, you feel like you're going like deeper and deeper and deeper into something. I like listening to No Heart while I run a lot too. I don't know why. For some reason, even just listening to it like outside of running, it just makes me want to run. Yeah, this is a good album. I think Without Warning is actually a lot better though. So I don't know if this one shows up because it's more like influential, whereas Without Warning was kind of just like more. And Without Warning, it's not as like definitive. It's not like every single track is so important. I don't know. So yeah, I think this one has like the most influence, but there's other ones that I like better. I like Without Warning better, and I like Not All Heroes Wear Capes better. But it's such an important one. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Oh, interesting. I think a friend of mine really likes this movie. I don't really know anything about it. Yeah, body horror. No, we're not watching that, and then maybe because of that, we're not listening to this. Seductive murderous alien. Maybe my friend doesn't like this. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with something else. This doesn't sound like the sort of movie he normally likes. Hmm. Purple Mountains. Whoa, right. This is the guy that was in Silver Jews. Ah, uh-huh. Yeah, and then he died. Will they put... I hope they put Now Only really high. I guess I should listen to this. I heard about it, and then I didn't really feel like I was in the mood for it. But I like a lot of Silver Juice songs. I was never super into them, but, you know, I kind of, like, I get it. The album cover is cool. I like this. I like the font. It's a lot to like. I don't care about Arctic Monkeys. I don't think I'll ever care about Arctic Monkeys. Like, is this, I don't know. Maybe it's like a lot different than the stuff I've heard, because I've never really gone out of my way to listen to them. So it was just from the era where I would listen to like rock radio a lot. I would hear, I think that you look good on a dance floor. I was like, okay, I get it. All right, enough. And then I just never wanted to listen to them again. But maybe that would be like, oh yeah, I remember Radiohead. I'm a creep, I'm a loser. And they've like actually just changed completely and make like totally different music now. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's, I don't know. That doesn't sound like it. Oh, the Fame Monster, 2009. As they mentioned before, they said that's okay because the influence it had was mostly in the 2010s, which makes sense. This is an album I don't think I've ever actually listened to all the way through, which is a little embarrassing. I suppose I really should. But I feel like I have heard all of it just based on singles. And I mean, some of these singles, like, really like Bad Romance, classic, karaoke staple. I know I've heard this song, I don't remember anything about it. Same with this one. Telephone, of course, fantastic. Just Dance, Paparazzi, Poker Face, Yeah, these are all, like, songs that we will never, ever totally be rid of. They're just too catchy, they're too infectious, too perfect of pop hits. So this is in a nutshell the poptimism movement of Pitchfork, where you know, the Pitchfork of 10 years ago, which I guess is maybe why this is on this list. The Pitchfork of 10 years ago probably wasn't super into this album. Yeah, and like they're pretty positive about it, but they wouldn't, you know, put this on a list. They wouldn't really gush about it. But now they're like much more willing to embrace like, no, these are really good songs. Like they were trying to make really good pop songs and they have. Like, why don't we celebrate that? Why are we complaining that it's not, I don't know what they liked around then. Radiohead or Arcade Fire or whatever. I guess around 2009 Pitchfork had already started changing. The Pitchfork of 2004 would have given this like a 5 and been like, well, it's kind of catchy. Yeah, yeah, that's true. This like weirdness era of pop music was pretty fantastic. This is good. Okay, I'm gonna stop here, and we'll do the next 50 in another video, and so on and so forth. So this will be 4 parts, and then another 4 parts for the top 200 songs. Maybe we'll do those faster because there's like less to say about a song than an album. So please enjoy 8 consecutive days of Pitchfork content that nobody asked for and probably no one will watch. I'm sure going to enjoy making them. So see you then.